today I am going to cover off 10 common challenges after a separation. I obviously haven't got my teeth in right today, so get used to it. I'm probably going to stumble my way through this by the sounds of it. Okie doke. Right. So we all know divorce has become more and more common, and it doesn't really make it any easier to deal with. And often people tend to look at divorce as a personal failure, and it's not necessarily a personal failure because it could be a joint decision that it's just not working anymore. It could be an abusive or toxic relationship that is not working anymore. And it's not about blaming people. What's the point of blaming somebody? There is absolutely none. No point blaming people. You know, there may be wrong on both sides. There may be right on both. Who knows? It's between the individual people as to what happened and what went wrong and why it didn't last. And it's nobody else's business apart from theirs. So I'll get off my soapbox now. So I'm going to go through 10 of the most common challenges that you will likely face after your relationship has ended. And hopefully you will benefit from the strategies provided and manage to overcome separation. And of course, there are other challenges as well when keeping in mind everyone's circumstances are unique. But the following 10 can serve as a stable baseline for dealing with the rest. Okay, so the first one, heartbreak. You are probably broken-hearted, absolutely just beside yourself and just crying at the drop of a hat for no reason apart from there is a big reason, which is that your relationship has ended. And even if it was a toxic relationship, you will still mourn that relationship. You will still be heartbroken when it ends. And you were in love. You had dreams. You had hopes. You thought you were building a life together. And, you know, you thought you had built a life together. And then that dream turned out to be your worst nightmare. And you should expect a period where you need to mourn your marriage. And you might get some mild signs of depression, including lack of motivation. You might find yourself indulging in the dysfunctional belief that everyone is the same and that all future partners will keep disappointing you, letting you down, hurt you, abuse you, you know, terrorize you, whatever. They're not all the same. Every person is different. It's really important to realize that those beliefs are not necessarily serving you, and those beliefs are what will stop you from rebuilding your life. So you kind of need to take a grasp on reality there and just kind of put those in a box and shove them away because those thoughts are not going to help you. So the second one is adjusting to a new reality. So you may have left your home, you may still be in your home, you may have stopped living in the same house as your children, you might have cut ties with family and friends, and you might feel isolated and ostracized, and you don't know what the other person has been saying to all these people behind your back. You just don't know. And at first, the new circumstances might feel really weird and surreal. And you might need to take some time to realize that you have a different life now. Things are not going to be the same. And whatever happens, life is not going to be the same. And that's a hard reality to come to terms with. And it might take you some time to get your head around that. You might find yourself on autopilot driving home from work to the wrong address. You might find yourself, sort of needing to make new routines, because you might have had a routine where you came in from work and dinner was ready, or you may have looked after the kids all day and then your ex came home from work and then it was kind of like a bit of relief because the kids weren't just yours to deal with at that point. That's all changing. That's all going to change. And you need to make new routines. So in your new life, you need to adjust to the necessary changes. You need to put a new routine in place as early as possible. And you need to prioritize self-care and healing, healthy eating, good sleep, and good, just taking care of yourself and prioritizing yourself, because if you fall apart, what's going to happen. If you fall apart, you can't be there for those children. If you fall apart, you can't be there for your family. If you fall apart, you can't fight for whatever it is you need to fight for in terms of your divorce. If you have to fight, hopefully it will be amicable, but that is very rare these days. Normally, as soon as money becomes involved, it normally starts to turn a bit toxic. But you need to be strong enough to deal with that. And things like sleep and food are really, really important because they will have a massive impact on your ability to cope. So out of everything that we're going to talk about, food and sleep are massive, okay? You need to cope physically with the changes, but also mentally. And it's keeping yourself strong physically will help your mental health during this time. So if you keep your body strong, then your mind can concentrate on the matters at hand and not focus on trying to keep your body strong and deal with all the stuff going on in your head at the same time. It goes into overload. It's too much. You can't cope. It's like asking your car to tow another car that's like 3 times the size of it, and it's just not man enough to do it. Your car is just not going to do it. It will chug and chug and chug, and eventually it will break, and that's what will happen to you. So it's really, really important that you look after yourself. Right, now I'm on my soapbox today. Have you noticed? It's a bit I'm a bit fiery. I don't know quite where that came from, but let's just roll with it. So the third one is developing a sense of self and being single. So you used to be part of a team, and whether it was done consciously or not, you incorporated your partner into your identity, but now you have a new one. You're single, and you might feel lost and not know who you are, and that's normal. And you might do some introspection and looking inside yourself to see what way you want to progress forward, and how to feel comfortable with being on your own again. And there is help out there. You can come and talk to me. I'm a divorce coach. I help people go through this period of their life and come out of it stronger and healthier than they've ever been, and avoid a lot of the drama and the pain in the meantime, and keeping them strong so that they can fight for what they need. But you can start planning a future full of possibilities, because now you don't have a partner that you will have to kind of agree with in terms of holidays, activities, decor in the house, the way you want to live your life. You can do what you want. You're grown up. You get to choose. So you have the potential for unlimited possibilities in your future. If you want to go skydiving, you can go skydiving. If you want to go do a bungee jump, you go do a bungee jump. If you want to go do mountain carts down a big mountain, you go do mountain carts. It really is time to find yourself and find the things that make you happy. And one of the things that was said to me a long time ago when I was dealing with my pain condition was, the doctor just turned and said to me, do what makes you happy. Just literally do what makes you happy. And that's kind of an ethos that I've tried to live since then. And doing what makes you happy opens up a whole new world of possibilities for you. So the next thing, number 4, doing things on your own. Now, you used to go to places with the two of you, or maybe even the whole family, and somebody else used to do things for you, such as they might have done the laundry or taken care of the bills or done the cooking, or sort of done the tidying for you. And now you've got to do everything by yourself, and it's a process, and you need to be patient, and you need to be kind to yourself during this period, because it's going to take some getting used to, and you can do it, absolutely. But you want to find your own rhythm. And if you find it too hard, you can always ask friends and family to help. If you're really struggling, please don't struggle alone. Reach out, ask for help. I can pretty much guarantee anybody puts ask me for help. That's fine. I'm there. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. But you should hopefully find that you have friends and family just like that, that will actually help you through this really difficult time. Now, number 5, dealing with your children. It's not easy being a single parent, and it might feel really overwhelming at times. Um, and I know it's hard. I did it for a number of years, long, long time. Well, I say I did it. I have done it for the last 16 years. Um, I separated from my child's father when he was 3, when my child was 3. So I was working full time. He was in full time childcare. We got through it, and he's an amazing young man now. But dealing with your children, it's nothing shameful in asking teachers, friends, or family for help. And you can speak to a divorce coach, a therapist, a counselor. Separation is a big adjustment for everyone. And the important thing to remember about the children is that they love both of you. They love both parents and they want to please you. And it's really essential that they're not used as weapons to hurt the other parent, regardless of the reasons for divorce. Unless there is a significant reason why not, such as abuse, or sort of substance abuse from the visiting parent, then in that case, then that's a different matter. But generally speaking, the children should be encouraged to have a positive relationship with both parents. And it's really important for both parents to have agreements in place as to who takes responsibility for what in respect of the children's needs and what will happen if this happens. Agreements on punishments, agreements on discipline, agreements on everything you can think of, everything that you can think of that might go wrong. Yeah. Get yourself on the same page about, because you can guarantee it's all going to go wrong at some point or another. And if you've got the agreement there to back that to fall back on, then it's so much easier. So the next one I have, number 6, making new friends. Now it's likely that many of your current friends are also your ex's friends. And for a variety of personal reasons, you may experience the need to stay away from them. And so it's really important to start making new friends. And for that to happen, you've got to go to new places and start a few hobbies like going to the gym or volunteering, taking theatre or dance classes or anything that you can think of that you might enjoy. Quilting, crafting, knitting, anything that you think you would enjoy, give it a try. Turn up to a class or a lesson alone and find somebody that's going to put their arm around you, sort of take you under their wing, because I think one of somebody I know's sayings was, yeah, I've got to go and get the book. I've got to go and go to this new place. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the person that looks more scared than I am. So that was their strategy. Go there, look for the person that's more scared than you are, and strike up a conversation. And then you'll be doing somebody else's service and you'll be helping yourself at the same time. I thought that was brilliant. Um, so number 7, finance. So financial difficulties, and along with adjusting to a new reality, a new life, a new home, potentially, shared assets all being split. Financially, you are in a whole different reality, and you might find yourself needing to rethink your spending habits and rethink everything about your budgeting and your financial control, your situation, and you're going to need to control your spending and maybe ask your family for help during difficult times as a last resort. I never did. I always coped, no matter what. Even if I went without, I always coped without asking for money from my parents or my sisters. And I think it's something that takes a bit of getting used to, but you can remember that it's always better to be happier than to be richer. Um, if you are struggling with your finances, you can ask somebody that you trust to help you work it out, figure it out. And if you don't have somebody that you can trust, there are so many charities and advice services that offer free help to deal with debt and problems, budgeting and managing your money. It's better to ask and feel foolish than not ask and the situation spirals out of control. Because I can guarantee this, if you're feeling embarrassed and ashamed and foolish about your money, asking for help will take 2 seconds. And then all of those feelings are gone because you're focusing on a solution. So if you are in that bracket where your financial situation is changing massively, then that really is something that there is so much help available. And you probably have somebody within your circle, whether it be a co-worker, whether it be a friend, whether it be a family member, that's good with money. Ask them to come over, and you'll sit there with a bottle of wine and you'll go through your bank statements and you'll work out your incomings and your outgoings and what you can afford to do. And, that needs to be a big priority. So don't let the situation spiral out of control. Don't end up with masses of debt because you just do the ostrich solution and stick your head in the sand and just hope that it's all going to go away, because it will not go away. It will just get worse and worse and worse, and it will bite you on the arse. So there you go. Sorry, finances. That's another soapbox for me. Right, number 8, breaking ties with your ex's family. So you may feel like the ex's family is your family as well, and sometimes they have to take sides. Sometimes they're put in the position where they have to take sides. So it might not be that they have made a choice necessarily to disown you. They might be being kind of forced into it by your ex. Who knows? But if they shut you out, you're probably going to end up feeling resentful and betrayed. But you need to accept that it's their prerogative. And keeping your distance, no matter how much it hurts, you can't control what your ex has told them. And you might feel slighted and hurt and angry, but be dignified, because they make their own choices and you get to choose a whole new inner circle to surround yourself with. Because if they choose to abandon you, then maybe they weren't truly in your inner circle in the first place. Just a thought. Number 9, seeing your ex move on. That's a fun one. It might be painful to watch your ex move on. You might think that they've forgotten all about you, as if your time together, your marriage, your relationship didn't mean anything to them. But it is crucial to understand and accept that once your life together has come to an end, the healthy choice for both of you is to move on. And you too can be happy and rediscover the joys of being single, or find another partner. And it's really important to make sure that there are clear agreements in place in respect of communication, especially regarding any shared children. There is an awful lot of, how shall I describe it? Unfounded accusations, ill-placed comments, etc., that fly about, sometimes about the ex. That in itself is a red flag. But so if you meet somebody and all they do is talk smack about their ex, then you have to question, how, actually, you love them enough to get with them. So, what's the reality of the situation? But seeing your ex move on, if you have children, you have to expect that that child or those children are going to interact with that other person. And unless there are reasons, literally legal reasons, why that should not be the case, such as they have criminal record, child abuse, or violence, or anything like that, then you don't really have much right to stop them. If it's somebody that makes your ex happy, what's the problem? Because at some point you're going to have a new partner. And hopefully you're going to learn to love yourself first before you get a new partner. But at some point you're going to get a new partner, and you're going to want your kids to treat your partner with respect. So we can't have double standards about this. It's, my son's stepmom was amazing, brilliant, so good with him. Literally, I could trust her completely with him. I had no hesitation knowing that she was there and she was looking out for him. She was brilliant. So, and we parted on very bad terms, and it was a very toxic relationship. But stepmom, amazing. If a lot of the time I just communicated with her, it was just me and her communicating, and it made life so much easier. So sometimes you can appreciate the bonus that might give you. Right, finding a new purpose, number 10. So cohabitation is a shared life project. And now that you're on your own, you might need to adjust your life's perspective, and you can find a way to live a life of purpose and meaning. Remember, there is still a life for you to live and dreams to fulfill. And one of the best ways to break the cycle that may have contributed to your previous relationships breakdown is to speak with a professional and have a real long discussion about what you want to do differently next time around. Because every time something, I don't want to use the word fails, ends. So it's not failure. A marriage ending is not necessarily a failure. A marriage ending is an end. We learn something from that experience that we can take forward into our next experience. So I truly believe that everything that we go through, we learn from. So good or bad, sometimes we learn lessons the hard way, not through choice, but we learn something from each and every incident. So you can take those lessons and you can help make yourself into a better person, into a better partner for the next person that you want a relationship with, um, where you're strong and healthy and you've dealt with all your demons, or you can let it fester and you can let the bitterness just keep hold of you and just keep you trapped in that cycle where you cannot get free. But that's the kind of stuff that I do. So I help people that are broken. I help people that are hurting and broken to regain their self-esteem, to find their confidence, to fight for what they need to fight for in the divorce, to make sure that all the key players in their team are doing what they should be doing. And that's my role. That's the kind of thing that I do. So if you want to talk to me about any of that, feel free. It's www.jennyrockcoaching.com. Okay. And I obviously have a Facebook page as well, so you can find me on Facebook / Jenny Rock Coaching.